Hey Ashley, how you doing? Okay, so I've got you set up here, and I just want to say that I really think this is a wonderful piece. Um, I think that the back is really specifically strong, and I think the front is as well. And what you have going for you here is simplicity. I'm going to tell you why this is working for you, because if I were to see this in a portfolio, I would say a couple of things to myself. I would say, one, this designer has restraint. Um, this designer, another thing I would say is this designer completely understands how to organize typography based on alignment. And those are two such important things for to indicate that you know what you're doing with typography. That's the good stuff. And this alignment, I mean, everything lines up. I checked it. I mean, this stuff all lines up. But I think that, well, a couple of things. Let's just talk about the bag in general. These rags aren't good. Your rags have to be like this. You don't want any of these wavy patterns. Okay, so remember, staggered like that, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Um, so you want to take care of that. This right here, this little composition right here, Ernest Hemingway, it's not the same as this composition. And I don't know that that is a wise choice. I don't think it is. I think that composition, this composition here, should be identical to this composition here. Another thing I want to point out in this composition is this fight. Well, this isn't a, I could use, maybe I'll use a different window. I'll use a different window as a straight edge, but you see how your Nobel, your N in Nobel is lining up to the edges of the serifs and the E and H in Ernest Hemingway. That's improper alignment, actually. What you want to do is you want to align it to the right there. So you're not aligning to the serifs. And you'll see what happens when you align it. It'll look much, much, much hardier. Just over just a little bit, but you'll see what a difference it makes. Plus, okay, so that's okay. So one of the things I think about the front of this poster is that it's showing a very, like I said, it's showing restraint as a designer. I think that the concept, though, is that the concept for the front is, you know, I think you were trying to create a lot of concept before using different things other than typographic technique. I think typographic technique was your way to go here. I mean, that's what I suggest for every project in this particular class. This is a good idea, this stressed, worn out typewriter, indicating that that's the typewriter that he worked on, and that's why it's so worn out. But the only thing is that this type being worn out isn't believable. You know, the areas are like this, right? Just that little area right there and that. But like this, you can tell that something, you know, gives there. So that's why I suggested that typewriter type. If you didn't like that one, there's a couple others. Just you know, Google, just do a search for a distressed typewriter type, and I think you'll find something that you. Okay, this right here, there's this right here. What? Look at your kerning. I'm sorry, your leading. You got a lot of space, and I know you did it to accommodate for the alignment across your columns, but work that out. Each one of these should be looked at as an individual typographic composition, so you want to work that out. Otherwise, Ashley, this piece kicks butt. It seriously does. I mean, if I saw this, I would seriously be impressed. So one thing I want to mention before you move on to your last iteration is okay. So now the typography is set and in place. Now you can start experimenting with backgrounds. Okay, and I wanted to spring that on you last because I want students to understand that type is that important. You want to set your type up first. You don't want to work on your type and your background together. I think it's most important to set your type and then start thinking about adding background. Okay, so great job. Looking forward to seeing your final iteration.